Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are finally reading Harry Potter number 4 and 5 in this video. If you haven't seen my first video of me rereading the Harry Potter series, I will link it below and in the eye above. But this will be a full spoiler reread of the series, and I haven't read these books since elementary school. I can't remember when I first read these books exactly, but I call myself a Harry Potter mega fan, and I've only read the books once, which is just so shocking to me. So we're gonna reread these together after like 10-15 years of not having read them. I watch the movies all the time, but I do not read the books as much as I should. So we're gonna reread both of these in today's video. Also, if you can't tell, I am feeling a little bit under the weather by my voice, but we're gonna ignore that and we're gonna have a chill day reading. I'm now on page 32 and I'm at the point where Harry just got invited to go to the Quidditch World Cup with the Weasley family, and the Weasleys invited Harry to go to the World Cup through like Muggle mail, and so obviously like Vernon read it. So it was like addressed to him, which I don't know why she did that. I guess it was just so that she could make sure that Harry had permission to go. But also something about this scene is like making me realize the Dursleys were they're just there for the plot. Like, as problematic as they are so entertaining, and like we don't really get much out of them except like at the end, like that was growth from their characters. But like other than that, I can't remember another time where I'm like, oh, like the Dursleys, like, oh, cute. Like, no, that doesn't exist. On page 48, Harry's about to leave with the Weasleys, and Harry says goodbye to the Dursleys, and none of them say bye back, and Mr. Weasley steps in to stand up for Harry, and he's like, why aren't you guys saying goodbye? You won't see him until next summer. And I just feel like Mr. Weasley is so slay for this. I'm now on page 71 and they're about to take the port key to watch the World Cup, and I'm realizing that this might be the first real thing to happen in this series outside of Hogwarts and outside of Diagon Alley. I can't remember because that could be incorrect since it's been a while since I read the first 3 books, but this is the first thing that I can like remember happening. I'm now on page 110 and they're at the Quidditch game right now, but what I'm not understanding is what these little villa things are. Like, they're the Bulgarian team's mascot, but they can also like control the spectators' minds. At least I feel like that's how Harry is acting right now, because they made Harry and Ron want to root for Bulgaria before like Harry and Ron came to their senses. So I'm a little bit confused, because I don't remember this part. I'm on page 139 and the house elf just got accused of being the one to cast the dark mark onto the sky using Harry's wand, because Harry like left his wand. Like, he straight up lost his wand. But it's like, Harry, dog, I know you're a teenager, but still, you gotta be more responsible with your wand. Like, that would give me a heart attack if I was in his situation. On page 157, Ron opens like his secondhand dress robes, which, first off, this scene is different than it was in the movie. Their robes are just like not cute, and Mrs. Weasley is embarrassed that she had to buy them secondhand, and it says Harry looked away. He would willingly have split all the money in his Gringotts vault with the Weasleys, but he knew they would never take it. I don't know why that makes me want to cry so much, but it does. It's so sweet. Okay, this is just a random thought, but I can tell this book is YA because it'll like remind us of things that have happened in past books, but like we're reminded a lot, which is like what's giving me YA vibes. And I'm pretty sure I feel like you would consider Harry Potter YA. I don't know. I do. I'm on page 186 and Dumbledore's like making a speech about the Triwizard Tournament and how it's coming back to Hogwarts, and he gets distracted by Fred Weasley and almost like starts cracking jokes until Professor McGonagall like clears her throat to get him back on track, and I just thought that that was the funniest thing. Like, Dumbledore would do that. I've been reading a while, so I just finished chapter 16, page 248, and since I've seen the movies so many times but only read the books once, I'm kind of enjoying picking out the differences. So just now the 2 other schools arrived, and I feel like they arrived differently in the movies. Plus, one of the schools in the movies was an all-girls school, and I don't think either of the schools in the book are an all-girls school. I don't know, I could be wrong, but in the movie the one school is all girls and then the other school's all boys. At least I think Hi, it's been a while. I'm on page 380 and I'm at the point where Harry has already gone through one of his tasks. So he's already faced the dragon and defeated the dragon by using a spell to get his broom so that he could like fly past the dragon. Right now, they just discovered that Dobby and Winky are working in Hogwarts and Hermione is still in her spew era where she feels the need to like help the house elves, and she's basically trying to be like a voice for the house elves, even though the house elves don't really seem to want or need that. But anyway, I love when Dobby randomly comes into the books and I don't remember this part at all, so I'm really loving it. And Dobby was always one of my favorite characters when he, you know, and I can't remember if it's the 7th book. I literally cried. It was so sad. On page 435, I'm a little bit past the part where Cedric has tried to help out Harry by telling Harry to take a bath and bring the egg. And like, yeah, that is a little bit helpful, Cedric, but like, even Harry is like, I told Cedric that there were dragons, and Cedric just kind of gives me a hint to the clue, like he doesn't tell me what's going on. And honestly, I'm on Harry's side here. Cedric really owed Harry one for telling him about the dragons, and Cedric basically just gave him a hint, like didn't even tell him what the next task would be. I'm now on page 453, and I don't know what it is, but every time Dumbledore comes into a scene, I just find myself giggling, even when it's like not that funny. Like just now, Harry, Ron, and Hermione are in Hagrid's hut. This is the first time they're seeing Hagrid since the article came out that he's half giant, and so they're kind of telling Hagrid like they're on his side. So Harry says, "You don't think anything that Skeeter cow..." Sorry, Professor, he added quickly, looking at Dumbledore. "I've gone temporarily deaf and I haven't any idea what you said, Harry," said Dumbledore, twiddling his thumbs and staring at the ceiling. That is just so funny. I'm on page 491 and I can't believe that it's Dobby giving Harry the dillyweed so that he can breathe underwater during the second task. Because I thought it was Neville, because I think that that's what happens in the movie. I don't know, but this just goes with my point that Dobby is so slay. I know Myrtle is just kind of intense, a little bit problematic, but why am I loving her character right now? Like, Moaning Myrtle is just trying to help Harry out. She's just trying to be a girl, you know? I'm about to start chapter 31, page 605, but we just found out what happened to Neville's parents, and literally I was tearing up. Like, it's so sad. And this whole time I thought that they were just like hexed, like Voldemort like killed them. I didn't realize it was his supporters basically tortured them, and now like his parents are insane but they're still alive. That is horrible. We also just got introduced to the pensive in the last chapter, which I don't know why. I love the pensive and just like the idea of it, and the fact that Dumbledore is like, oh, this is where I put my thoughts, and like when I can't calm my brain down, like I basically just remove my thoughts and I put them in there. That's crazy, but also same. I would do that. Ignore my hair. I'm trying new heatless curling techniques, but I'm now in chapter 32. So I just got to the part where Cedric and Harry finished the third task and they touched the cup, and I don't think they've yet realized that it's a portkey, or like if you're reading it for the first time you haven't realized what it is yet, but like I know things are about to get intense. I just finished the Goblet of Fire. You can probably hear my cat eating her food, so I'm sorry if you can. Obviously I'm really going to like all of these books. I'm probably going to rate them all a 5-star because obviously I love them enough to reread them. They were so good, and I feel like I already gave all of my thoughts and opinions while I was reading the book, but I will say the last like 100 pages or something like that, I was like glued to this book. I did not want to put it down, and then I did get 10 pages into the next book, which is, oh yes, The Order of the Pheonix. I don't know why I keep thinking the next one is the Half-Blood Prince. That one's number 6, so that one will be in the next video. This one I don't remember at all what the big conflict is or like how it ends. Yeah, I don't know why. I can't remember. I'm sure as I read it, I'll start to remember, but I'm only 10 pages into it right now, so Harry is still at the Dursleys. I do remember that Dudley is about to get attacked by a Dementor, so. I'm now on page 59. This is taking me forever to read. I don't know why. Like I said earlier, I don't remember much of what happens in this book slash the movie, but they just made it to like the secret hideout for the Order of the Pheonix. And I didn't realize in the book that they make Harry almost like invisible to get him over there. It's different in the movie, so I'm enjoying not really knowing what's happening, which is a very new feeling for me towards Harry Potter. And I'm on page 100, so they just learned about the order and everything, and I genuinely feel like not much has happened since speaking to you guys last. Harry figured out that they're at Sirius's house. Yeah, not much has happened, I feel like. Maybe that's why I don't really remember this book slash this movie, because I feel like it's just been kind of like a vibe so far. I'm now on page 179 or chapter 10, and Ron has been made prefect. And then we saw this really sad scene with Mrs. Weasley, and she's like trying to get rid of this boggart. And if you don't remember, boggarts like turn into your worst fear. So the boggart kept changing in between all of her children and Mr. Weasley and Harry, but like they were all dead. So like her biggest fear is like her family dying, and it was so sad. Like I literally shed a tear. Like I was like, that is so sad. But yeah, now I think they're about to head back to Hogwarts. So I'm now in chapter 11, and they just got off the train, and Harry is seeing the giant creatures that pull the like carriages for the first time, and I'm a little bit confused because it was my understanding that you see those little creatures after you've seen death. Shouldn't Harry have always seen them because his parents died right in front of them? They're saying like Harry sees them now because he just saw Cedric die, but like I feel like he should have always seen them. Now that Professor Umbridge is teaching, because I'm on page 245, I'm starting to remember like what actually goes down in this book, but in my head it's still one of the slower books out of all 7, like less actiony, but I don't remember fully. So I'm now on page 268, and Harry's had his first detention with Professor Umbridge, and I literally just came on here to say that Professor Umbridge is actually insane. Like thinking about the fact that she's making her students go through detention and basically write with their own blood, insane. Insane. I keep saying that I'm gonna put a Good Girl's Guide to Murder in a reading vlog, but I can't decide if I should do it as a reading vlog just dedicated. Albie. Holy crap. If I should do it as a reading vlog just dedicated to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, like do all 3 books in one video, or if I should include them in a video about like books becoming TV shows / movies. Either way, they'll be in a video, but which one would you guys prefer? Now chapter 18, page 374, and Professor Umbridge is just being a real biatch. Not that that's new, but I am shocked that she like was able to intercept the flu network. Is that what it is when Sirius uses the fireplace to talk? And was able to like put her hand through the fire and almost grab Sirius? And that is crazy. Okay, that's crazy. I'm on page 427. I have no idea when I last updated. I can't remember. I'm now at the point where Hagrid's come back and he's starting to tell Harry, Ron, and Hermione where he was, which they already figured out that he was trying to track down the giants before Dumbledore got to them so that the good side could have the giants. But yeah, it's kind of just a vibe right now. Honestly, I'm just kind of trucking through. I feel like I don't remember this book that much because so far it's just like not my favorite. The only emotion that it's invoking is a deep hatred for Umbridge. In the movies, does Hermione stay in touch with Victor Crumb? Because I'm on page 461 right now, and she's writing this really long letter to Crumb, and I just think that's so cute. Like, go Hermione. She deserves this moment. Anytime Bellatrix Lestrange is mentioned, I just go like, ah. You know, because I like relive that scene in my head every single time she's mentioned. Every single time. I'm about to start chapter 24, but Ron, Hermione, and Ginny all just found out what happened to Neville's parents, and it genuinely like makes me want to cry. Like, we should be protecting Neville at all costs. Like, he's just one of my favorites. I'm now on page 551, and 10 Death Eaters have now escaped Azkaban, and obviously like this made like headline news, and so people are now starting to believe Harry and Dumbledore a little bit that Voldemort is coming back because they just like don't trust any other explanation as to why 10 Death Eaters have managed to escape Azkaban, which makes sense because like if it was 10 random people, like whatever, but 10 Death Eaters, like guys, be so for real, you know what I mean? They're also now talking about how they're on educational decree number 26, and I actually feel like the movie does such a good job of portraying these decrees, because in the movie they have this giant wall and every single one of the decrees is like hanging up on the wall, and like 26 in my head, like okay, like whatever, but when I think about it, like visualize 26 like pieces of paper onto the wall, like yeah, that's a lot. Guys, are we just gonna ignore the fact that they were 15 in this book drinking butterbeer? What? Also, we are gonna ignore my hair. I'm now on page 602, and in the divination, what is it called? Anyway, she just got fired, and for some reason that scene in the movie is so like crystal clear in my head. Harry and Cho's relationship in this book is so funny to me because it's just so ridiculous. Like just now on page 637, they're arguing about Hermione again, and Cho calls Hermione darling Hermione, and Harry's like, don't start crying again. And Cho is like, I wasn't going to. I just think that's funny. I don't know why. It's just like, you guys are being so ridiculous that it's like laughable. There's things in this book that just make me giggle, but I don't think they're supposed to make me giggle. Ginny and Harry were in the library just now, and the librarian comes over, and she's like upset that they have chocolate in the library, because like that's not allowed. And it says, in whipping out her wand, she caused Harry's books, bags, and ink bottle to chase him and Ginny from the library whacking them repeatedly over the head as they ran. That is so funny to me. I'm on page 674 and I truly refuse to believe that Harry actually got away with using Umbridge's fire to talk to Sirius. I'm like waiting for him to get caught. You know what I mean? Like he's already out of Umbridge's office, but like no way did he get away with that. The chapter on owls, so I'm now on page 729, and that is the chapter that ends with Harry having the vision that Sirius is like dying and being attacked by Voldemort. And I've been waiting for that dream to happen for the longest time, but I forgot that it happens like while he's taking an owl. Guys, just imagine, like that would be so embarrassing. And also I would probably think that Harry was going crazy if I had seen that happen truly. Like just being honest, I would probably think he was going a little bit crazy. So I just could not imagine. Harry is about to feel real dumb for yelling at Hermione because she didn't think his vision was actually happening. Also, oh my gosh, Umbridge was the one that sent the Dementors after Harry. I don't know how I don't remember that. I've got like 50 pages left, so I'm definitely going to finish today. Also, Fudge just figured out that Voldemort is back. Sirius is dead. It's sad, but it also means the book is like almost over. I just made myself a little cup of tea and now we're gonna go sit down and finish this book. You'll have to excuse the wet hair. I obviously just showered, but I also just finished The Order of the Phoenix. Beginning of this book, I was honestly not feeling it. Like I feel like I almost was not in the mood to read Harry Potter, which I never thought that that would ever happen to me my whole entire life. But then as I read it more and I got to the end, I was like, I just don't want this to end. And I don't want to say goodbye to these characters, even though it's like goodbye for now, because I still have 2 more books. It's like, it still just hurts, you know? Like, I just don't want to say goodbye. But it was so good. Of course, I'm rating this one a 5-star as well. I mean, I've probably said it a million times. All these books are gonna be 5 stars for me because I love them so much. But I'm so glad that I reread this one because I didn't realize how much this one was different from the movie. I mean, obviously all the big concepts are the same, but like there's a bunch of little things that are just different. And I don't know, I kind of like being able to pick that out now that I've seen the movies a million times. And of course, I read Goblet of Fire earlier in this video and I love that one as well. But that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope you'll stay tuned to the next video in this series where I'll be reading books 6 and 7. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!